Focusing in frame. Hey guys, I'm Morley and welcome to Yelrom blog. In the past few months, I've been making a lot of videos and not much blog content for my website. So while I'm waiting for the finish to dry on these leather bookmarks I'm working on, I thought I'd share some things I've been thinking recently about websites and their relevancy in 2019, especially in the context of makers. I want to use this as an opportunity to flesh out my own thoughts and start a conversation on websites, DIY content creation, and this whole subject. I started Yelrom blog as a personal blog about a year and a half ago now. Yelrom is Morley backwards. Maybe a little more than that. The reason I started Yelrom blog was I had a few ideas of articles to write, purely written articles. And maybe the story of how Yelrom blog kind of developed into what it is today, more of a video content sort of thing. Maybe that story for another vlog in the future. Regardless, I've been producing almost purely video content recently, some Instagram posts in between, and have essentially let my website go stagnant. It's not like I don't think about the website anymore, it's just very difficult for me to figure out where its place in my content creation is. I haven't really had any good ideas for purely written content recently. The only blog posts I could think of writing were ones to accompany videos that I came out with in the past few months. I see in the maker community from time to time people talk about getting stressed that their website isn't up to date or that it's not integrated with everything else. As mainly a content consumer and just a little baby content creator on the making scene, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth the stress. I'm only speaking from my own perspective, but the best blog content are things that are written and can stand on their own. I don't go to watch a Jimmy DiResto or a Ben Ueda or a Primitive Technology or Modern Builds or Practical Engineering or Binging with Babish or one of the other YouTube channels I like. I don't watch one of their videos, finish it, and then go read a blog article about it. I enjoy the video and I enjoy following their story on Instagram and other social networks. I think as content creation is maturing, the notion of a traditional website to tie everything together is not really necessary. The only really blogs I regularly read are things that are produced almost solely for the written content with no accompanying video or anything else. There's only a few really, because most of my media ingestion is through YouTube and podcasts. Mr. Money Mustache I enjoy, and maybe I also really enjoy Things I Find in the Garbage, which is a blog about the adventures of a trash picker in Montreal. The reason they appeal to me is because they're very niche and they can stand alone as really good content. Mr. Money Mustache, on his most recent blog post called How to Create Reality, he had a really good passage about the kind of unanticipated success of his blog. I don't even know if I'm still in frame anymore. He says, "When I started this blog in April of 2011, I didn't just start rambling about interest rates or student loan debt, and I definitely didn't mention carbon footprints or get into environmental guilt tripping. The first sentence of the first post is, 'What do you mean you retired at 30?' So he goes on to say, it was a simple picture of a very clear end destination that automatically got people's imagination running and filling in their own details." What I think Mr. Money Mustache is showing is the second you read the first blog post, you instantly know what it's about and it's really intriguing. Now, a lot of makers, especially of the more generalist nature, there isn't one specific thing that will draw someone in. How I am drawn into a maker on YouTube, it's not by a specific elevator pitch. It's through their brand, really. When you're looking at maker content creators on YouTube, their appeal isn't for the same reason that you would get sucked into a website. Now, don't get me wrong. I think websites definitely do have a place in a central location to kind of gather everything together, especially since we're in a time where no one really knows what any of this new content creation, what it really means or its value. It's nice to know that you have a website that kind of ties everything together. And that's how I've been kind of using yelromblog.com, the website, for the past year or so. I haven't really updated it with blog articles or anything else, but I've just used it to integrate my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. I should probably add my Pinterest to it. But I would like to start writing more blog content. It seems to me like a lot of makers, people talk about writing the article to accompany their video. Now, I don't have their analytics in front of me. I'm only speaking from my own kind of preferences. Like I said before, I don't watch a video and then go read the blog article about it. I really don't see any value add to having an article going along with a video unless you have written plans. Another website that I enjoy reading is Matthias Wandel's. His written content I think is really good and it can stand on its own. He was actually one of the first people that got me into maker content on YouTube. I think one thing he does great is writing blog content, not just about making stuff, but if you really go down the rabbit holes in his website, he has like articles about economics, philosophy, art. That's the type of blog content that I find is really valuable. And who knows, maybe other people do enjoy nice, succinct written article to go along with the video to really just have the whole media package. But Yelrom blog, I would call a personal blog. And because of that, I'm only gonna make content that I would enjoy watching or reading. One way I've been kind of tracking the evolution of Yelrom blog is, am I ready to write an About Me page? And not just about me, Morley Kert, but about Yelrom blog and as Morley through Yelrom blog. I still don't think that Yelrom blog has a brand or an identity that I can really jot down an About Me section of the website. And maybe that's why it's so difficult for me to figure out what the use and the value of a website in this context is. Because the brand of Yelrom blog and what the content is kind of gathered around still isn't really clear to me. I think Ben Ueda actually puts it really well. When you're a small creator, I really think the most important thing is to just focus on producing great content. Because the way you establish an identity is through your content, right? You can't make it artificial. You can't force it. An identity and a brand comes from making something and producing something. So right now, that's what I'm trying to focus on. I'm trying to finish these bookmarks, trying to plant seeds for new projects. I don't think the best thing for me to do right now is to make a nice website that goes along with every video. A few months ago, or maybe last year, I made maybe 2 blog posts just as kind of updates. And I think those actually do have value. I think when you start to develop a brand and a following as a creator, people definitely do want to know what you're up to. That's what Instagram stories are about. I think those short update blog posts are a great way of keeping my followers in the loop and keeping my website up to date without putting in a ton of effort and thought into very poignant, well-written articles. And I think websites do have a ton of value, especially if you're selling products, if you're selling plans, if you're writing really good articles, and if you're active on a lot of different platforms and you want to bring it all together. And if you're pursuing sponsors and you need business contacts, of course it's really useful. This video is really for me to figure out what my website is about. I'm not trying to tell anyone else what to do with theirs. Thanks for watching. I think this is a really interesting topic, and I'd love to hear what other people have to say in the comments. I talked a lot about my own preferences in this modern age of content creation, but I'm really curious to hear what other people have to say. And of course, if you like my videos, make sure to subscribe and check out the other stuff I have going on. Thanks.